Hey folks, it's that special time again. We've got another episode in our filming location series. This time we are going to review the first season episode, Forget Me Not. Forget Me Not is probably most well known as the Amnesia episode, right? With Mickey with the Eye Bradburn and the last episode where Kit has his square voice box. But it also has some really cool locations, including one that is reused again in Knight Rider later on. So, with all that said, let's see if we can figure out where all these locations in Forget Me Not were filmed. Alright, and we'll begin at the beginning. This is the first scene of the episode where we see Kit and another car parked just in this little parking spot. This is the beach hideout that Michael is staying at. So let's see if we can find this. Well, I know we can. So the key is going to be this little garage over here. So this location is 31206 Broad Beach Road in Malibu. So if we go today, right here, so this is the parking area. This right here is the house. So let's go ahead and drop in via Street View. And we can see right here, let's get a good angle, right here is the same location as you can see. So if you look here, see this little vent right here? There it is right there. So that's kind of the dead giveaway. We've got a door here, door there. It looks like these brick pillars are long gone, and that white picket fence has been changed. And I'm sure this tree is probably maybe this tree over here. I'm not too sure. But take a look at this house over here. That looks pretty fancy. Anyways, so this right behind it, this is the beach house right here. So let's see if we can get a better look at the beach house. Alright, so here's what the beach house looks like back in 1982. So we've got the two dormers, chimney right there. See, there's not, it's so hard to see. There's the two dormers. Chimney's there, it has a new cap on it. But that's definitely the same location. So is there any way we can get, yeah, see there you can see the two dormers. And I think if we go back over here, whoops, right there. So here's the back of the beach house. And you can see that there's a little patio off of the second floor here. And if we look at aerial view, there's a patio right there. So it looks like this has been built out with more of a deck, but I don't think there's probably no like street view out here. So that might be as good as we can get with that. Can't go on the beach access road either. Nope. That's it. But yeah, that is Marie Elena's beach hideout. Alright, and this is kind of a blink and you'll miss it filming location. No, I'm not talking about stage 1 where Devin's office used to be. I'm talking about what's shown here. So Devin is on the phone and he's watching footage of himself of a news broadcast. Well, what you might not realize is this in the background is the so-called Black Tower at Universal Studios. I'm pretty sure this is where all like the producers' offices were. We see this Black Tower a few times in Knight Rider. The main one I'm thinking about right now is in Kit the Cat when Michael goes to see I can't remember his name, one of the guys who thought his Sandra de Coeur necklace was stolen, but he had it in his safe or whatever, but he's in that Black Tower. And then we also see the Black Tower in Fright Night. So that building is still there today, right here at Universal Studios. And let's see, I'm not sure how good of a picture. Yeah, right there. So there's the Black Tower used in this very, very short scene in Forget Me Not. All right, so this next location, I'm going to need you guys to help confirm. So this is Rudy Del Fuego's house. In my notes, I have that this house is or was located on Pacific Coast Highway near the turnoff for Decker Canyon Road. So it's a uniquely shaped property, as you can see. There's the house here, and then you've got kind of this long, there's garages here and a long like walkway. And then this is the backyard here. And we can see that in the backyard, so we see the Pacific Ocean here and the beach. There's another view of the house right there. And then here's another view. You can see how there's just like this long stretch here. And then there's a pool over here. So the garage is here, the pool's over here. So whenever I look, so this, is this Decker Canyon Road? Let's go over here. Yeah, so that's Decker Road right there. So the house, let's go back to Google Earth here, is one of these houses, if it's even still there. Because a lot of these houses, I know some of these houses at least have been raised and new mansions have been built. But it could be one of these properties here. So why don't you guys, I have an assignment for you. Why don't you dig through using the photos that I just showed you from Forget Me Not. Let's see if we can figure out exactly where Rudy Del Fuego's house is or was. See if it's still there or not. All right, so this next one, we do know where this is located. So this is when Michael's chasing the bad guys. They have Mickey in the back seat. Oddly enough, most of this episode took place in Malibu, and then they took Mickey, and now all of a sudden we're in San Pedro. This is the Royal Palms State Beach in San Pedro. So this area right here, if we go over to Street View, is right here. It's this K Fiorentino Drive that takes you down into the beach area. So the car with Kit following are coming right up here in that scene, and then Michael passes them, cuts them off, they turn around, then they basically go back down that same road there. Incidentally, some of Trust Doesn't Rust was filmed at Royal Palms whenever, near the end of the episode, when Carr is driving away and Kit's chasing him, was at Royal Palms as well. Okay, so then we get this establishing shot here of this house overlooking a cliff. This could be the same as Rudy Del Fuego's house, because look at the architecture here of the house. And you see how it's got these boards with the diagonal accents. And you look here, and these ones do too. So I'm thinking this is that same house from another angle. So maybe this will help us identify that property. All right. And then we've got the would-be assassin is staying at this hotel, which happens to be the Beverly Garland on Vineland Avenue in North Hollywood, California. This location was used a million times. In fact, it's used in the very next episode, Hearts of Stone, as the wedding reception in Mexico. Or it's not in Mexico. They're near the border in story. But it was also used in Speed Demons, Custom Kit, a whole bunch of different episodes. So this is still there today. Now it's just called the Garland, but there's the entrance right there. 2012's Knight Rider reunion was held here. I was there. It was an awesome event. So there you go. All right, and next up we've got the International Equestrian Grounds, where the climax of this episode takes place. We see these equestrian grounds again in Season 3's Night by a Nose. But this is, in reality, the Los Angeles Equestrian Center, as you can see here. It has that exact same arch. It's been painted a little bit, but same arch right there. And in fact, if you look here, see this building in the background, these stables with the brown roof and the slanted openings. If you look closely, that building is still there today. So all of these scenes take place in that equestrian arena in an equestrian show. So I think if we go here and we switch it here, so yeah, so a lot of that stuff happens, like these scenes right here, I believe, are taking place on the field right here. That entrance was up in this area. All right, so then we move back to this scene where Michael's going back to retrieve Mickey's purse and the bad guys are there. Interestingly enough, if you look over here, and I pointed this out in an episode commentary, you can actually see Kit on a wheel dolly right here, which I thought was kind of interesting. But I'm pretty sure this is Royal Palms State Beach as well. Don't know 100% sure, but it would make sense, right? Because they were filming there and they needed a beach. So I'm sure this and Kit's Turbo Boost all took place at this same Royal Palm State Beach. All right, and then we see this drop-off area. So this is an alley, nice second-gen Trans Am right there. But this alley, and he pulls up to a dumpster, drops a briefcase in. Interestingly enough, there's Bob Rubin Pontiac, where a couple of the original Knight Rider cars came from. A couple of the ones that the studio purchased came from right there, which is kind of neat. So this, of course, was the dead giveaway for us figuring out where this alleyway was. And it is the alley right behind, right off of Whipple Street right here. So, well, let us go, yeah. So we can go back here a little bit, and you can see this whole area has been redeveloped, right? There's buildings here now where there weren't buildings back then. But that dumpster would have been kind of right there. And actually, the camera then turns around, and we see this building here with a decent Mustang. So if we turn around right here, and right there, that's where Kit is coming up to park. In fact, you can even see that this white, I don't know what that is. Is that a guardrail? It's still there, but now it's blue. All right, so a bit later in the episode, Michael, once Mickey remembers her address and Michael looks it up, or Mickey remembers who she is and Michael and Kit look it up, they end up at these apartment buildings. And interestingly enough, that apartment building, remember we were just right here? If you just turn this corner right here, there's those apartment buildings right there. These two. So Mickey Bradburn's apartment, 10817 Whipple Street. And what's interesting is I'm fairly confident the interior that we see of Mickey's apartment is the actual interior of this apartment building. And let me tell you why. Because unbeknownst to Mickey Bradburn, living right next door to Mickey is Gina Adams from A Good Night's Work. And why do I think that the interiors of Mickey's apartment were actually filmed on Whipple Street? Because look at the interior here. Note the entry door. Note these very 80s dividers here. And then look at Gina Adams' apartment in the building next door. It is a mirror image. See? Closet to Mickey's left. Closet to Gina's left. So isn't that interesting? So that tells me that these were definitely the interiors in Whipple Street, which I think is pretty cool. So there you go. Mickey Bradburn, Gina Adams, Whipple Street in Burbank. All right, and then the episode concludes with Michael and Kit racing into the equestrian ground. Kit turbo boosts, crashes through a wall. Chase ensues. There's the stables in the background. I just thought that was interesting. Look, there's like a there's something on the side of the window there, or in the guy's helmet. Anyways, goes through a tunnel and then comes up from the tunnel, and then we're at these stables. Let me back up a little bit. So these stables, if I can go back to the equestrian grounds, Los Angeles Equestrian Center. So if we go back here, those stables are right here. And if you remember just a few scenes ago, so we saw this scene where Kit is driving through a little tunnel, and then they come up this little ramp. The horse turns the corner, and then these stables are right there. So that tunnel, I don't think is there anymore based on what I could see. But I'm pretty sure it would have been right in this general area. Maybe I think this is the LA River. So there is a road right there. But those, oh, I'm sorry, those stables were here. I knew I got that wrong. So, and you can tell that because if you look here, see how these stables are off center? They're not all lined up. Right here. See how they're not lined up? So if you look at it, the horse came up. So he's coming up here, he turns right, and then he goes between these stables. So he would have come up, I believe, right through here. So this has probably been redeveloped, but somewhere right in this area would have been the tunnel. Or maybe this is the tunnel. Unfortunately, there's no street view over here. But right in this area is where all of that takes place. So there you go. Yeah, so there, and then the final scene here where Michael lassos them, and you can see the power lines in the background, and those power lines run right through here. You see them right here? So they're in the background, which tells us that this whole area, this whole scene took place right in this big open area over here, which makes sense. All right, so then Michael lassos him. Yeah, there's the stables in the background. So it would have been so right here. So those stables right there would have been this stable right here, to kind of put it all in perspective. So yeah, so that all happened right in this area. All right, and then we're back to the start here. And I think that's all she wrote. The episode ends with them in the doorway of this house, and once again, Michael saves the day. Isn't that great? All right, folks, that's what we have for Forget Me Not. Help us find Rudy Del Fuego's house. I think everything else we pretty much have figured out. But after this, we're moving on to Hearts of Stone. So we're officially at the halfway point of Season 1 in our filming location series. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. As always, if you have, make sure you're subscribed. Give us a like, tell your friends, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.
Hello friends, it's me, Kit. When I'm not out fighting crime, I like to follow my friends at knightriderhistorians.com. Check it out.